Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. It's a night show. I thought I'd come on and, shoot the breeze with you, basically. So I'm going to be talking a few things, that have been happening this week with the channel and stuff that I've heard. Anything you want to ask, just wait for people to join. And as I say, wrong one. There we go. So if you've got any questions, feel free to let us know. Let us know you're here in the comments. Let us know that you can hear and see the stream, the live stream, all okay. Been putting out a few videos this week. Good evening from Spain. Hello, how are you? And anyway, so if you hadn't caught the channel this week, I've got stickers now. Look, stickers, and they've arrived. I've started sending those out as well. I've been doing a few live streams this week on the bike riding and also here from the workshop. Unfortunately, a bit of a disaster with a couple of the live streams, so that they didn't work quite well. I've been riding every day, just working away. Apart from the last 2 days, I've been in here, the other side of this area, the other side of my workshop, where I've been working on engines for 2 days, basically. So I managed to finish the Z750 engine, put all that back together. Literally, I'm just waiting on a couple of bits now to actually start putting it in the frame. But that's going to be a while yet before I do that. But the other thing is that there's a video coming out saying where I've blown up my engine on my Riehu marathon build. So it blew up about 4 or 5 miles away from where I live, so I had to push it all the way back. So yeah, that was one hell of a workout. The video explains it all. But anyway, listen, I've got it in the workshop now. I've actually opened up the engine, taken it out of the bike, put it on the bench, opened it up to see what damage it was in there. And actually, there was no damage. What had happened was the cam chain tensioner had come loose, and basically the cam chain just slipped off the crankshaft. But I thought, why would it just jump off like that? So I've opened it up. It didn't seem to be any damage. I put it all back in. It started up fine. Then as soon as I took it outside to go give it a test ride, the same thing happened again. It just really struggled. It's almost like it was losing its timing, and then it just the chain snapped off. So it either needs a new chain, or what I think I'm going to do now, I'm going to take it out of the bike, the engine this is, out of the bike for about the third time, completely strip it down, take it right back down to the casings and see what it is. I mean, the problem is that this engine here is a Chinese engine. It's an LML, also FML 156 or 157. Yeah, 156B, I think it is, this one. To get a brand new engine, I think is around about about 400 pounds, I think. So, you know, I'm thinking it's a really old, tired engine. They've just worn it out, basically. And when I put it all back together last time, when I stripped it all down, put a new gearbox in, I thought this engine is pretty much on its last legs, really. It seemed quite worn in there. So I thought, do you know what? Let me. I've ridden it around for the summer. You know, it's been fine. But as I say, until the engine blew. So I think it's pretty much looking like a new engine. So I'm in two minds here, whether to sell the bike as a project for somebody else to go and just put a new engine in it, or just repair it myself. The reason I'm doing that, because I think a 125 is whilst it's fun, it's just a little bit too slow, I think. And especially when you're going on the trails. Also, I want something that's just a little bit better on the trails. You know, it's not a very good trail bike, in all fairness. It's okay, but it's not a good trail bike. So I think what I'm going to do, instead of trying to convert this and everything like that, I'm either going to get a new engine in it, or just, well, first of all, I'm going to open up the engine again. This is probably about the third time I've done it in 2 days now. completely strip it apart, see if there's anything else that's causing it, because it's going really sluggish and it's almost like it just doesn't want to turn over. However, everything's running freely in the engine, on the bench. So it's a bit of a weird one, actually, why it's doing it. It's really sluggish, really hard to turn over. And then all of a sudden the cam chain just slips off the cog at the bottom on the crankshaft, which is really weird. So yeah, it could be the cam chain tension, I think, is duff, but I think the whole engine is duff as well. So if I can get the same engine, what I might do is just keep this engine for spare parts, and then away we go. Hello, Matthew. Hello, thanks for joining. 7 a.m. there, Tuesday in Melbourne, Australia. Keep living the dream. Yeah, absolutely. You too, mate. You too. Off to work, I assume, soon. Anyway, listen. So that's what I've been doing this week. Basically, is breaking engines, blowing up engines, walking bikes back miles. Finished up the 750 engine, just waiting for bits now. I've got to order parts or get parts. I'm waiting on a couple of auto jumbles or bike jumbles, so I can go and have a look and see what I can find, or looking on the usual places like eBay to see if anybody's selling anything for cheap. And if anybody's got any parts for a Z650 or Z750, I'm looking for what am I looking for? Mud guards. I'm looking for not so necessarily lights and everything, because I think I can get away with that. I need to put brand new electrics on the bike, so I'm going to make my own electrical system. So it's going to be, there's going to be quite a lot of work I need doing to it, but I need mud guards. Whether I stick with mud guards, I need what else is there? I need brake hoses, clutch cable, I think, throttle cables, so that kind of stuff. It is missing quite a lot. But there we go. Off for our Tuesday Hog Club, old farts and retired boys ride. Do it every Tuesday. Oh, that sounds good. And a tour on the 13 Benz Road. Good. You saw that, did you? Yeah. So that was good. That was one of my live shows I did the other day on the bike. That night, about when I was coming back from work at about 2 o'clock in the morning, just after 2 o'clock, I tried to do sort of a creepy ride back, as it were, a bit of a spooky ride back on some back roads. But as I thought I would lose signal, and I did. I just lost the signal. So it didn't. It was only on there for about 5 minutes, so I've deleted it. Like last night, I tried to do a live show in here just with my phone, and the signal was really poor. So I've hooked up the computer and a Ethernet cable now, so it works a lot better. But anyway, so pretty much that's what I've been doing. I said the bike. I don't know if you. Yeah, of course you can. There you go. Look, there's the frame, all looking snazzy there. So basically, that engine just needs to go in that frame. I don't know if you. Yeah, there you go. You can see there. They're the forks and the wheels. So at some point I'm going to rip those down and see what's what. Actually, the forks, there's no leaks there or anything like that, so they seem okay. The wheels just a bit tatty. I just lick a paint and away I go with those. And the fork stem bearings, the head bearings seem actually all right. So I just re-grease those, stick them in the frame, and away I go. So but there we go. Yeah, Camilo. Yeah, the Wi-Fi wasn't very good. Yeah, that's the shame. That's the problem with it. It wasn't very good, and that's the problem with these. I thought it'd be quite good to take on a ride, but I wanted to go for longer rides and just do a full live show of a longer ride, but it's just not going to work, unfortunately. So I don't know. I might redo that and just video it as opposed to live stream it. But I thought it was interesting to do a live show and then just say a quick chat with people. But there we go. Listen, it's just the way it is. But listen, so that's pretty much what I've been doing, really. I've been hanging out in the Breaking Bad camper a little bit, doing that. I'm hopefully going to go off and do something tomorrow night in that. Got a work meeting in the morning, so I've really got to decide what I'm going to do with my life right now. And pretty much I've just been hiding away in the workshop the last couple of days, trying to get these bikes. This bike now, this Riehi, this 125 engine, has annoyed me now. It's annoyed me because, you open it up and nothing seems to be wrong. And then you think, well, why is it doing it? Is it the timing's not quite right? The cam at the top, I think, has seen better days. Everything in that engine is tired, so it doesn't surprise me that it's acting up now. But at the same time, it's starting to piss me off a little bit now, because I thought I've had it out of that engine. This would be, well, 3 times the last 2 days I've been in and out, taking it in and out of that. I'll get it in and out really quickly now, but even so, it's still time where I could be doing something else, like riding my bike, So I think, if I get another one, like a 250 or a 300 or something like that, again, a trail bike, that's what I'll be looking for to go and have a bit of fun on. I think, I don't think I'm going to get a project, maybe some light cosmetic stuff, but I'm not going to get a big project bike, because I poured quite a lot of money into this, really. And, it's certainly not worth it. But, it would have been great if the engine had held up. But, it was a really tired engine, and they don't last that long anyway. And let's say it'd been thoroughly abused, put it that way. So there we go. Matthew, I have PTSD. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, son. I don't work, but just ride my hog to stay on my mental health. Yeah, it's a great way to help, isn't it? I find it as well. Even when I'm stressed out or for whatever, I've had a bad day, I've had an argument, or I just feel rubbish, and getting on the bike definitely does it for me as well. Oh, crikey! You were run over on the 25th of September by a semi-trailer while on my hog. Oh, crikey, blimey! Wow, yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah, it's PTSD. Some wounds aren't visible. Absolutely right. For quite a few years, I raised money for mental health charities, or try to raise a profile of that as well. That's if I was raising money, it would be raising money for mental health charities. I've always had a close. Whilst I haven't struggled with it myself, I don't think you're ever that far away from it, to be quite honest with you. And certainly some of the things that what's happened the last couple of years, COVID and everything, and that's really raised the issue here in the UK. And I think, people in the emergency services, public services, are really starting to feel the effects of this as well, regardless of what you think of COVID and everything. The fact of the matter is, this is what I say to people, the fact of the matter is that people working on the front line in emergency services, they didn't have the information. They did, but they were still going to work. They were still going into the firing line, and actually not in the very early days of this COVID, no equipment, not enough equipment, really long hours. People, staying home, but emergency services had to go out and do their stuff. So, and also in the hospitals as well, they still had to go and work as well. So it was a very scary time. And I think that relentless pressure, that relentless looking after people, going out to people, and but still at the back of your mind wondering what's going on. What is this thing? What is this virus? Are we putting ourselves at extra risk? Are we putting our, and everything that we had to do to try and protect ourselves on the front line or in the hospitals, and that extra effort and all these extra systems that we had to employ. It's been 2 or 3 years of those people working on the front line, I say, getting in close to patients. Yes, there were a lot of essential workers, like lorry drivers and shopkeepers, who had to go back to work to keep the country going. This is the same all over the world, of course, but they weren't really getting close to people. They could still keep the distance, whereas in emergency services, let's say, you couldn't. You still had to go and help people out, and that's the issue, you see. So mental health is going to be a big thing. It has already been a big thing in all facets, all areas of society, but not just in this country, you know, all over the world as well, I'm sure. And so yeah, so you know, mental health charities always. I'm a big believer, big believer that there more should be done about it, and more investment should be done to help people, you know, who's suffering, you know, whatever, or need help, you know. And let's face it, we all need help from time to time, and you know, it could be tomorrow that I need help. It could be next week. It could be next year. Who knows? But there we go. Matthew, your channel has helped me so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Right? You know, I try to I try to mix it up a little bit, and I try to give different, you know, aspects of the kinds of things that I'm really interested in, and not only Harleys, because you know I love my Harley, you know, but and you know where I ride on it. So I've been doing a little bit of that and showing you where I take it and what I do with it, but also the places that I like to go as well. I've changed. You know, you might have noticed that I've changed the way I do things a little bit on the channel recently, and I don't know if I'm, you know, gonna continue to, the truth be known. I mean, I've got videos booked or scheduled until the end of September. I'm sure I will continue, but I don't know in which way I'm going to do it right now. And you know, because it's a lot of time, a lot of effort, and so the only reason I'm doing this right now is that I'm home alone, as it were, tonight. So I thought, you know what, just come out and do it. John, hello, how are you? Keep on rocking. You're chosen a hard rebuild, and all the best. Yes, I certainly have chosen a hard rebuild. You know, well, one is rebuilt, the other one is just not wanting to play with me right now, so it's a bit of a pain in the backside. But as I say, look, you know, the channel will, I'm sure I'll do stuff on the channel, but I'm not, you know, I want to try and get it back to my original idea about the channel, and I've been trying to do it. Well, the problem is that me going back to what I really wanted to do, or what I really saw the channel to be, it may not be so focused on Harley Davidson stuff, or focused on motorcycle stuff either. In you know, it'll always be motorcycle related, but not always about, you know, workshop stuff or breaking engines down or anything like that. I don't know. Let me just show you. I mean, I can't actually. I'm going to see if I can. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can. Hold on. See if I can show you the. Probably not. Actually, hold on. Now, I was going to see if I could show the other side with my phone, but I don't think I can. My computer is playing up a little bit here. But anyway, I was going to quickly show the well, basically the one engine is in the bike, the other one's just on the bench there. It's no thing. Luke, good evening. First time I've caught you live. Oh, thank you. Thanks for joining. I thought I'd come on a little bit later tonight, and well, you know, just have a little chat. I've got a wee dram with me as well. Come on, it's after 10 o'clock. I'm allowed one of these, surely. This is a finest blend. No, hold on. I've got the bottle here. It's a blended malt Scotch whiskey, right? So this, I really like my whiskies, always have done. But this is kind of a bit toffee. It's very peaty and very toffee-like. So it's quite nice, you know. Nice to drink it. Anyway, so tomorrow, it's just started raining. I could hear the rain. You probably can't hear it, but I can hear the rain on the roof here. I think tomorrow's going to be quite a bit of rain here as well. So we're going to have fun and games. So I'm going to get out on the bike. I've got to get out tomorrow after my meeting. I've got to go and post a few of these stickers out. So I am carrying a few on the bike as well, and also in the Breaking Bag camper. So if you ever see me out and about, as I say, you can just come up to me and say, ask for a sticker, and I'll give you. I'm not going to charge you for it. I'll just give it to you. If you want to donate to help, get the keep the channel going and pay for everything, that's always welcome. You can order them off the website as well, the shop area. And I've put them in a single, or I think a single. There's a pack of 5. And basically, you can order it for whichever part of the world you're in. They are quite expensive. I've done that on purpose because I'm not just charging for the sticker, as it were. It is also to help support the channel as well. So again, I'm posting some out tomorrow. I went to try and post them the other day, but the post office was closed. This is on Saturday. Post office was closed, and they'd run out of stamps as well, so I couldn't post them, but there we go. But anyway, listen, so it's so a bit of rain tonight, so then tomorrow hopefully it will clear up. I say I'll get out and about, I'll go and post those then, and then probably maybe go on a little ride on the heroic Harley and see where I go. Then I'll come back, and then hopefully I'll get out in the Breaking Bad camper tomorrow night and just go off somewhere and just have a bit of fun. I mean, I'm actually looking at another big project which I touched on a couple of years ago. Really, I've been looking at a motorcycle van build again, and I think I'd like to do it but I also want a van for work as well, maybe some work related issues. So, getting a van, but also a motor van. And also I've noticed that sometimes you just need to transport a bike, or for whatever reason. I could have a trailer. It's not a problem in that respect, but it's, I think just having a van it's better. You just ramp the bike up in there and away you go. And if I ever want to go off somewhere, I just, it's easier without a trailer, isn't it? A trailer's fine as long as you're going in the same direction, but as soon as you have to back up a little bit or go around a really tight, like a 3-point turn or something like that, they're just useless. So there we go. But anyway, so it won't be like a van build for like these van life type things, which I kind of watch a lot of those because I kind of get a lot of these ideas from them as well. And I've been in touch with a couple of them as well and I've given them my ideas of what I think, but nobody comes back to me, nobody answers me, story of my life really. And I think, well, do you know what? I think sometimes, you try and reach out to people, they don't answer, maybe they're just busy, whatever, that's fine. And that's something I pride myself on. If anybody ever sends me an email, I always try and answer back. It might take me a couple of days, but I always try and get back to them. But as I say, this moto van, I've got a good idea of what I want it to do. It'd be like a multi-purpose, multifunctional van, but it'd be a motorcycle van as well. But I've seen a few ideas, and I think on the internet, on the YouTube channels, and I thought, that looks really good. But I'd do it in a kind of different way, and it wouldn't be for the family, as it were. It wouldn't be to take your missus with you. This is basically just one man and his bike. It'll be one man, his bike, little tool workshop area, raised, a bed, very small, living area, as it were, and then see how we go, something like that. I mean, I've got it in my mind what I think I'd like to do. But anyway, so we'll see what happens, and see if I keep the Breaking Bad camper. I mean, I love it, but I say we're just not using it enough, and I thought I'd be using it a lot more, but just haven't, work and everything like that. That's the problem. Unless I retire tomorrow and just go off traveling, strap a bike, on my camper, it's a really long wheelbase, and it's a 4.5 tonner. So I think it's 4.5 tonners or something like that. So it's a really long overhang at the back, and I can't strap a bike to the back. I've gone through all different ways to try and get a bike on a rack and put it back, and they're just too heavy for it. It's not going to be certified. I've looked at all different types of rack systems, people to make them for me, and it's just too heavy. They'd be too heavy. So the only way is to I can get a trailer. There's no problem. Put a bike on a trailer, but so I could always do that. But again, it's quite a long vehicle. Then with having a bike trailer on the back, I think, you know what I mean? It's a bit cumbersome. Do you know what I mean? So if I was going to say this would be the thing about me going away in a moto van, it would be just me pretty much just going away, and it wouldn't be to take the Harley or anything like a trailer, trailer your Harley to a motorcycle rally. No, I'd always ride to those kind of things. It would be basically if I'm going on a bike, let's say this one here, if I ever fix the bloody thing, or got like a 250 trail bike, enduro bike, or 450 or whatever, it'll literally be just to put that in the van, sleep in the van, a weekend living in the van, as it were, but also to do lots of trail riding. So, I drive, a few hundred miles, a couple of hundred miles, I'd say, to wherever, park up, go and do some trail riding, and then come back, that kind of thing. But so that's the general idea. So I have been looking at another bike as well. So this sort of 250 300cc something. So it's got to be lightweight. I do love that Royal Enfield Himalayan, but it's too heavy. Well, it's not too heavy. It's quite heavy, I think. And what I've certainly noticed, and I always said this about trail riding, you want something light that you can just quickly manhandle, pull it out of a rut or something, pull it over a rock, slide it under a fence, that kind of stuff. So you want something that's really light, and I stand by that over and over again. You don't need something that's really big. You don't need anything that's really powerful. You just need something that is really light, easy to maneuver, and to have fun. Yeah, you get the likes of, I take my Harley off-road. I've taken all my road bikes off-road. But, it's if you want to get into serious stuff, or, not even serious stuff, even semi, challenging stuff. And I'm not talking about the kind of stuff that $1 Million Bogan does, which is cool, don't get me wrong, but it's not serious stuff. It's not challenging off-road, what I would call challenging off-road. But for a Harley, or for a big heavy road bike, even a big adventure bike, it is quite challenging. And once you have to pick up your bike or manhandle it lots and lots of time, it's not fun anymore, and you're struggling for no reason really. The only time that those kind of big adventure bikes, or you want to take a big heavy road bike, let's take like a Harley off-road, is when it's fun. It's like when it's like a hard trail, especially in the summer. And I got a few videos. I've been out, riding trails recently on the Harley. We've got lots of thunder and lightning here, by the way. So it really is coming down now. But so big heavy bikes off-road are fine, but it's a light bike. For me, a light bike, that's what you want. You always want to go light. And I say, I love taking bikes off-road. It's not so much that I love going off-road for the sake of off-road. I just think the views off-road are so much nicer. And there's like a peace and tranquility on a lovely trail somewhere through the trees, especially during the week when everybody else is at work. COVID actually ruined this for a lot of people, because everybody in this country started to go out walking and started to go out, doing leisure stuff. And that ruined it for trail riding, because there'd be people everywhere. You'd be surprised the amount of people who've gone out and got a dog as well. Loads of people have gone out with dogs, and I just wonder how long are they going to keep these dogs for as well. So it's, and then the problem with that is when people force to stay home, the amount of people buying dirt bikes and buying, trail bikes to go off-roading, let's say. But the problem is they'd never done it before. So they don't know, they would just go in hooning about on roads or trails that they weren't allowed to go on. And it caused a lot of problems. In the first year or so. It's all kind of quieting down again now. But that's the problem. All of a sudden, people think, oh, I'll go off trail riding, or I'll go this, or go that, and they don't even know where they're going half the time, or they just spook horses or piss off people all the time. So, but anyway, listen, that's a bit of a rant there. There's lots of trails I could go, but as I say, this 125 is too slow for any long distance. It's fine short distance. Even a 250, as in you want to ride somewhere relatively quickly, then shoot some trails and come back. If you're going on a tour, on a slow tour, fine, there's no problem, take all the time you want. But if you're on a bit of a timetable that you need to go somewhere quite far away, then come back to go to work. Now you either need a big adventure bike that you can do the mileage quite quickly, go and do your trails, then come back, or you need a van to carry a light bike, or a trailer or whatever. So, I think that's where I'm at. I mean, if I could retire tomorrow, I know exactly what I would be doing. That's for sure. Getting out on go and put some money down on a van, go and put some money down on a bike, and that's it. I'd be off trail riding all the time. And also I'd probably end up getting a track bike as well and going to have a bit of fun on a track. I'd probably expand my stable really quickly. I'll just be looking at bikes all the time. But there we go. Listen, but what else have I been doing? As I say, the more thunder. Crikey, do you? I do love thunder. And I do love lightning as well. But there we go. Not necessarily nice to ride in it. I've been caught out in it a few times, and it's a bit of a pig, I got to say. But anyway, listen, I thought I'd just come on and let you know what I've been up to. As I say, maybe I can quickly show you. Hold on, if I can turn this around here. There we go. Hold on. If I just do. Let me just turn that. Hold on. Hopefully you can still hear me. Let me just turn that off. I'm going to turn the lights on. Hold on. Let's make sure. There we go. Right. Let's just put that. Get that out of the way. Brilliant. Right. Okay. So hopefully you can see me. Say this is the Riehu bike. That engine there, right pain in the arse. Before I put all the bike back together, I fired it up and it revved beautifully, absolutely beautifully, really smooth. Pop. Then I popped the exhaust back on. I literally took it out there, fired it up, and then within 5 seconds it started to get really sluggish again, and it just almost lost itself. Then I just couldn't start it again. It's a right pain. But this is the 750 engine here, all built, all put back together, just waiting for a frame, basically. Right. Crikey. Way too much. There we go. Right. God, it's all got very blue all of a sudden. That's right. There we go. Forgot to put the light on. Right, anyway, so that's it. As you can see, it's time for another sip of coffee, really. But anyway, so any questions here? I just bought a Honda NC700, thinking for green laning. Great if you want 80 miles per hour. Just got change tires for an off-road. Yeah. I think any bike you go take off-road. Seriously, I mean the biggest thing is a bit of ground clearance and tires, really. But anything, ever since I was a kid, I've taken all my road bikes off-road. I've never, because this is when, this is where I laugh at things like $1 Million Bogan and things like that, at how people are so surprised at it, which is say, well, I was doing it years and years ago, but I wasn't the only one. There's lots of people who've always taken their road bikes off-road. It's not a new thing. So, I think people, and also they take Harleys as well. There's loads of footage and photos of people taking their old Harleys and Sportsters off-road years and years ago, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So it's not a new thing. But as I say, I'm a great believer. You take any bike anywhere within reason. It might not be the perfect bike. It might not be the most suitable. You might not have a great time, especially if things go wrong. But, and I always say, if it's, as long as it's flat, if it's dry, great. If it's relatively flat, hard and compact, great. And if it's usually on the level, and you'll be absolutely fine. Like especially if it's farm tracks or trails or that kind of stuff. But as soon as you start getting wet on road tires off road in the mud, you're going to be slipping and sliding all over the place. As soon as you get any kind of soft ground, any ruts or anything like that, it's really tricky. And I did it with an old this Triumph Explorer adventure bike. If you go back to my channel right at the very start, I just put videos on there about me doing my rides, and I think but half of those videos were just on road tires. The road tires are absolutely fine. There's no problem with it, and I went everywhere as long as it was dry. As soon as when it got wet, the bike was slipping and sliding all over the place, and I was using all my strength just to keep the bike upright. So it was a massive workout. But road tires in wet conditions off road, obviously, just not good enough. As soon as you start putting knobblies on, and I had Michelin Anarchy Wild tires on, great, absolutely great. So that's the thing with all these bikes. The heavier they are, yes, they are. In some ways, they're more stable, but in other ways, they're a lot heavier work. But yeah, any bike, and I say, these big adventure bikes, you don't need a big adventure bike to go off road. You need a big adventure bike really for a nice touring bike. I think it's a good touring bike. And if you want to, go off road and stuff like that a little bit, most people are not going to be jumping over rocks, are they? Or jumping over logs, are they? They're just going to be on a hard trail, whatever. And so they want something that is just a little bit more robust so that it doesn't just, break down a little bit, and they got the feeling that they're having an adventure. Whereas you can do the same thing, on anything. Some of the best off-road bikes are mopeds, would you believe? Little mopeds, 125s, small 125s, Honda Cubs, Honda, C50s, C70s, C90s back in the day. They go anywhere. And because one of the biggest things is that they're light. They're light as well, so they will go. And people have been riding these bikes for years and years. So again, I always say, don't be fooled by all this. So you have to have the most expensive bike to go off road and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, get something that's gonna be suit purpose and it's not going to break the bank. As I say, but just get something that you think is going to be good for you. But as I say, I'm not decided whether I'm going to get a new one yet. I'll decide. I'll see what happens with this engine first. I'll see if there's a cheap replacement engine that I can get. I don't really want to spend £400 on a new engine for this thing. If I can get one for a couple of £100, and then maybe, if it's good running engine, I'll swap it out, put that one in, and I'll be good to go. Oh, the other thing I did today, as I was putting it in, I was tightening up the cable onto the starter motor, and I broke the starter motor, so I had to do a repair. I had to take apart the starter motor and repair it. It was basically, I had to solder the wires underneath. That took me about over an hour just to get all that sorted out. And thankfully, when I put it all back together again, it fired right up. So at least I can fix starter motors. I'm obviously not very good at fixing engines, but fixing starter motors is very good. But there we go. Right, anyway, listen, 40 minutes in. I'm going to leave you now. Go in and put my feet up, I think. That's what I need. Another quick slurp of the old Scotch, very nice. I don't usually drink Scotch. I'm more of a Jim Beam type of bourbon. I like my bourbons, I must admit. But anyway, listen, thanks for joining. So there are more videos coming, and well, hopefully people will watch them, and well, hopefully they'll enjoy them. And if not, well, then probably somebody's trying to tell me to stop doing them, I suppose. But anyway, listen, hope you enjoyed everything, and on to the next. Well, I'm not sure when I'll do a live show again. I'll see what happens. I say this wasn't planned tonight. I thought I'd just come on and just have a little chat and discuss a few things and tell you what I've been doing, really. As I say, I tried to do a few of those live sessions on the bike, and one worked okay and one didn't for sure. And most of the time I've just been in here in the workshop, just working away on these bikes. But anyway, listen, cheers, Luke, thanks very much. Camino, thanks very much to you, and thanks to everybody who joined as well, and I'll catch you again very, very soon, whenever that is. There's no video out tomorrow, but there's a video out on Wednesday and another one on Friday, so check those out. Right, catch you again, and I'll see you again. Ta-da, bye.